Thank you all for having me here today. I'm very honored to help Rudy and Zet out. We've known them for many years. When Walden and Mateo, Walden's my son, met at age 3 in preschool and held hands, and the rest is history. I want to begin with a poem inspired by the painting and whatever this talk. It's interesting that we have the moon here. Well, the sun also wanted to play off the moon, so this is Golden Sun and Deep Purple. Layers of life, roles, identities swirl and uplift, rebirthed and grounded as deep purple touches lush sky. Two worlds unite in shimmering robes and transcendent rays. We are the rising sun. On this Day of the Dead, we celebrate the bright light of suns that represent our loved ones, and we celebrate our own inner suns during this time of rebirth and grounding on earth. Thank you, ancestors, who have challenged us to grow spiritually, and those who taught us lessons in self-love. We remember our loved ones' favorite foods, the way they met challenges during their life, and how their smile curled up in that special way. Whatever memories, it is what feeds their spirit and ours that remains and truly lives on. My father was a man with a balding head, a crooked smile, and he loved to laugh. His favorite color was red, and he loved sports of every kind, sometimes 2 TVs and a radio going at the same time, so he wouldn't miss one. He owned a Perkins pancake restaurant with his brother, and whenever I eat at Jim's restaurant here in San Antonio, I remember him. So if I had a short stack of pancakes right now, I would put it right here on the altar to add to our feast. Dad also loved classical music, particularly the Russian composers. So whenever I hear one of his favorite classical pieces on the radio, I know he's checking in, nudging me, saying, "I love you." He used to put it on full blast in the family room. My mother would say, "Louis, turn that down." But it made him happy. Many times since his death, when I was in doubt of how to handle a particular situation, I felt his presence around me, whispering encouragement that lifted my heart. What memories feed you? For a long time, heartache transfixed my family line with genocide and other emotional habits, stealing our memory of who we really are. My father tells me now that the pain and suffering are, quote, a mere reflection of the insanity of humanity, the aspect of the false reality of the mind. And it's good to lose the persona of who you thought you were. End quote. Some experiences of mine can sure pack a punch. Its energy and shadow can seem so real. Yet each time we meet that energy, loving who we are for boldly having the experience, our light grows, grounding who we really are within the body. And what a courageous step for all of us who chose to be in the body at this time. Paramahansa Yogananda wrote, quote, "When an individual rises above circumstances by the power of courage, all conditions of life, however dark and threatening, become like the blanket of mist that disappears within the warm glance of the sun." Each time we release the remaining energy trail of any limiting thought or emotion. Each time we bring consciousness to unconsciousness, we are left with the beauty in every experience. We are then free to live in joy, and it's a constant choosing of yes, as Rudy would say. And it impacts everyone. As a result, both visible and invisible worlds unite, and our loved ones who passed on and those of us on earth now unite in anchoring a new dimension of love. What a gift. I had one experience when I arrived early to an interfaith event where a Turkish woman was about to pray in a separate room. And Spirit nudged me in the moment to ask if I could join her. She said yes. And we entered a beautifully clad room of oriental rugs, and she knelt down to pray. I sat down beside her, honoring her Islamic tradition, and I experienced the immense blessing of shared love of the divine. In the next moment, I was aware that both of our ancestors, Armenian and Turkish, were smiling all around us, as if they were holding hands. I felt their immense love and was shown that each time we break down the false realities of the mind, we have opportunities to experience sacred moments within our own hearts. As we release layers in our rebirth, we find our way from the dark blindness into the light of the sun. Some of us are caterpillars and are still cocooning, yet can see light through the walls that will soon give way. Some of us have just emerged from the cocoon with wet butterfly wings, pausing before our first flight, allowing wings to dry before taking a leap. Some of us are nudged to step into the newness of no ground, and its newness seems like suffering. Yet it is just a passing thought left to shed. Some of us have been soaring in flight for some time, enjoying the nectar with a lighter body. Each of us has learned to string together many moments of yes, to touch a shining inner sun, no matter where we are in our journey. Let us take a moment now in meditation to say yes, thanking our hearts and our loved ones. Feel free to invite loved ones in spirit to join us to unite in love. Take a deep breath in. Hold for about 5 seconds. Then release fully through the mouth with an ah. And again, deep breath in. Hold. Exhale with ah. In your own words, invoke, I am ready and willing to receive only the highest form of love and nothing else from my friends and family in spirit. Breathe in and receive that love in your heart. When the flow of love is complete, breathe deeply and gently, sending only love to them in return. When that flow of love is complete, say, may love bring consciousness to the unconscious within myself and others. When the flow of love is complete, ask that the love of God, Goddess, all that is, Great Spirit, or however we name the Holy One, to surround you by saying, all of the divine love that the Holy One has for me today, last week, my entire lifetime, and other lifetimes, I am now ready and willing to fully receive. Breathe and receive that love until the flow is complete. With your focus on your heart and on your spirit within, say, all of the divine love that my inner spirit has for me today, last week, my entire lifetime, and other lifetimes, I am now ready and willing to fully receive. Breathe deeply and gently and feel the inpouring of your self-love. May that self-love continue to resonate with you in your next steps that you take in your life, knowing that you are one with all your loved ones and all our ancestors. And as we end this meditation, we thank all of those of the light who have joined us in love today. And when you're ready, open your eyes to greet the sun with your sun. Two summers ago, I went to visit my mother and she asked me to go through my father's untouched papers and books. And as I went through and organized what my mother would want to keep, what went to a thrift store, one book called out to me from my father's bookshelf, and it was Two Suns Rising, a collection of sacred writings by Jonathan Starr. It's on the altar to the right. And on the front flap of the book is a quote by Rumi to inspire us to say yes on this Day of the Dead. What What a day today. There are 2 suns rising. What a day, not like any other day. Look, the light is shining in your heart. The wheel of life has stopped. Oh, you who can see into your own heart, what a day. This is your day.